You are in for a real treat. This episode was originally recorded for my other podcast, but for you, it's been upgraded and transformed, and now you have the Ask the Pro show. So everything mentioned in this episode will now be found on chrisdufay.com, plus so much more, as I've designed the Ask the Pro podcast and chrisdufay.com to give you exactly what you need to grow your business success and for you to have the money, the freedom, and the happiness you want, making a bigger and better impact to the world unselfishly. So now it's time to delve straight into this episode, and I want you to lap up and enjoy every single second of it. Welcome to Ask the Pro. I'm your host and your coach, Chris Dufay, and this is where I'm going to give you what's needed to create the online business, the money, and the freedom and the life that you want. Now, this episode has some of the most powerful takeaways. I'm seriously pumped to be giving you this right now. Not only am I bringing on AJ, which is a bromance that has just been lit up, because we are very much on the same page, but we delve into topics we are both loving and you are going to be able to take action on and really be able to see the results from using this with yourself and your business. Now, we delve into topics such as what is your superpower? Why is this so important? How to change your mindset to open up what is really needed for you to achieve what you want to achieve, how you can become the authority in your market, become the go-to, and the organic content, the paid traffic, and the JV, being a part of the great attract, sell, serve outline. Now, this is a system, this is an outline that AJ is going to give you an insight on that you are going to be able to use as of today, plus so much more. Now, this episode is brought to you thankfully by my body blend and my favorite, the Superfood Elixir. So if you want the fuss-free, the proven programs, guides, the products, how to transform and truly take care of your body and health properly, then be sure to head on over to mybodyblend.com and also tune into the My Body Blends podcast, as I've got episodes coming for you every single Monday. Now, if you are loving this, then make sure you do subscribe so you don't miss out, because there is a phenomenal lineup coming up in these episodes. Also, I'm definitely going to be bringing AJ back on for so much more. So I want to hear from you. What are the questions that you want myself and AJ to answer? What are the big takeaways you've gotten from this episode? And in the next episode where I bring AJ back on, we will be able to deliver on that. But to make sure to really get the most out of you being here with me right now, you need to click on over to chrisdufay.com. That's Chris, DUFEY.com right now, as right there I've got the free training guides, the insights, and the actual coaching tutorials that are coming straight out of the pro circle. Now, if you go to chrisdufay.com/start here, this is the exact quiz, it's the exact system I've set up to be able to give you what's needed to take you from where you are right now, whether you haven't even started your online business, whether you've already got it up and running and you want to just grow it, but I'll be able to walk you through the steps to where you want to go. So blood, sweat, and tears have been poured into being able to get this set up, but thankfully it's all working, it's smooth. So don't be a peanut and miss out, because that is where you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck. And that's at chrisdufay.com/start here. Now, no more waiting about. It's time to bring AJ on. And I'm really looking forward to you being able to take so much out of this and everything that's coming up for you. So we've just found out my brother from another mother, AJ, thank you so much for coming on Ask the Pro podcast. I'm pumped for you to be here. This is going to be something that I really do truly believe that the listeners are going to be able to take so much away from. But AJ, just before we start diving into everything, buddy, I really just do want to say a big thank you for you taking the time out and being here today.
My pleasure, Chris. Truly an honor to be on the show. And I'm like super pumped. I mean, we had a little 1 minute conversation and the synergy has already started. So this is going to be a powerful conversation.
We just lit it up already. This is too easy. Okay, maybe even before we start diving into everything, AJ, who is AJ and why are you so phenomenal?
Great question. Well, who am I? I would say I'm just a normal dude. My name is AJ. I'm from New York, United States. And let me see, I was a former chubby kid turned fitness professional. I mean, I was overweight most of my life, 60 pounds, I'm my heaviest. I had it all. man boobs, chipmunk cheeks, a big old belly as a body for as long as I can remember. And in my early 20s, I just hit rock bottom. 60 pounds overweight. I was depressed internally, just very sad, insecure, lacked confidence. Externally, I had agonizing back pain. I mean, I remember like I was embarrassed to take my shirt off. At the beach, I would wear tank tops. That's how insecure I was with my body. So, I mean, all that mental anguish led me to say, enough is enough. I mean, I've always been a very extreme guy. So I went from the extreme of being overweight and out of shape to the extreme of saying, you know what, I'm going to get a six pack. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get myself in shape. And took this year-long super ultra focus on just losing weight. I don't know what the hell I was doing. I was going to the gym, doing like 2 hours of cardio on a treadmill, eating turkey breast and lettuce, starving myself. Just, over a year's time, I was emaciated, but these little abs started popping out. And I said, holy shit, like I did it. And I found this newfound confidence. I was like, if I could change my physical body, what else can I change? So that inspired me to become a personal trainer. And over time, I built my personal training business. And I was really fascinated because, certain clients, you get in the littlest enough, they took the advice, lost weight, gained muscle. They were amazing to work with. Where other clients, I'll give them the best nutrition plan, the best workout plan. They wouldn't follow it. They would gain weight and then they'd blame me for not getting results. And I'm like, what's going on here? So I understood the mindset was so important. So I went back to school. I got my master's degree in psychology. And that was a game changer because I apply the psychological principles to my fitness and nutrition business. And from there, like that even took off further. So I decided to build an online personal training business. And over time, that grew. And then I got really inspired by like just helping people. I got approached by a lot of fit professionals here in the States. Like, AJ, how do you do this online thing? It's very confusing. So then I started to help fitness professionals grow their online fitness coaching businesses. And that has, grown over the past few years. Now help life coaches, relationship coaches, sex coaches. Essentially, it's just, boiling it down to a simple principle that everyone has a superpower. And, a lot of times we're in a service type of economy where we have this amazing gift that we could serve people with. So I like to really tap into a person's gift and then build the systems and the structures, right? Their lead generation strategies, their sales funnels, their back-end virtual infrastructure to facilitate that gift, to really leverage themselves and reach out to more people. So that's a little like summary of who I am and I guess what makes me phenomenal.
No, I love the answer. And I just think like this is why the bromance is so strong right now, because you've just ticked so many things that I think are so important, especially with the superpowers. Like I want to dive straight into that. But other really important things that you've said is obviously being able to put those systems in place, which I just think not everyone, so many people are completely lacking, and therefore that's why they're not getting the results. They're not setting the right things up. So we can really dive into that as well. Okay, this is absolutely out of this world. So let's kick it off. Obviously, helping someone find their superpowers. Now, this was a funny thing because before we hit record, I was actually saying someone asked me this in Bangkok a while ago, and I was completely stumped. It was a question I've never asked myself. It was a question no one ever asked me. How do you get that out of your clients?
That's a great question. I think what it came down to was a while back, I saw this movie called Pumping Iron. You might have saw it with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was kind of his claim to fame is like first foot into the motion picture world. And that's how like he became a household name. From there, he became a big movie star. But I mean, that movie inspired me in a lot of ways. And one thing that got me fascinated with bodybuilding, because I'm like, whoa, when I saw Arnold, I was like, I want to look like that, And there was a pivotal part in that movie when he was being interviewed. And they said, Arnold, what is it about bodybuilding that you're so passionate about? And he talked about the pump. And he's like, when I'm in the gym and I have the pump, it's like I'm coming all day. It's like this orgasm that all day long I'm just coming and coming and coming. And I'm like, whoa, once I heard that just like fascinated me. And it made me realize like, that's Arnold's superpower, right? At that point in his life, bodybuilding, being Mr. Olympia, being this person who inspired the masses to go to gyms and transform their bodies, he's living in his superpower. He's talking about working out, like having an orgasm and coming all day long. And then after he conquered that world, he went into, motion pictures, then he became a governor. But the point I'm making is like when someone is living in their superpower, it's like they're coming all day. So that's what I really saw in myself. I mean, I've had a lot of jobs, a lot of different careers. I was an employee and I totally sucked at that. But I realized when I started my business and I first started in the fitness industry, when I was a trainer, when I first started, it was like this level of like being in this flow state, just being in front of a client and inspiring them to like do the exercises, to follow a diet, and week by week seeing their changes and being so immersed. Like if I would have won $1 million lottery at that time, I would have still went to work every single day and trained my clients, and over time, like I said, just like Arnold's superpower evolved, so did mine. So I find that your superpower, in lack of a better word, is like the thing that just makes you feel like you're having an orgasm all day long. You're just full of energy, gives you creativity. You have this amazing happiness and this piece of fulfillment. And kind of like when you could actually base a business around that amazing flow, like energetic feeling, then you're living in your superpower. And just like when we see the greats like Arnold Schwarzenegger or Steve Jobs or Michael Jordan, when they're performing their superpower, right, where they're playing a game, they're talking, they're lecturing, they're working out, like you get so inspired and you're saying like, wow, I'm in the present moment when I see this person, and you get to realize what your gifts are, So I guess like that's kind of my definition of a person's superpower. It's this feeling, this energy, and like as long as you do it all day long, you get more creative, you get more inspired, more focused, and anything that's outside of your superpower is actually doing the opposite. It gets you tired, it gets you, less focused, you lose creativity. So it's this innate, I guess, awareness to like realize like what things do I do throughout the day that just juice me up, that fire me up, that make me come alive.
No, I absolutely love that. And I think it's so important because even like yesterday, I was watching a video and it was of Gary Vaynerchuk. And like, obviously he's very well known for working a lot, like really just pumping out the hours every day and really driving for it. And he got the question of like, when do you have you time? And he goes, this is my me time. Like me doing this, me building the businesses, like me hustling, going through these actions. This is my me time. Like this is what drives me. This is what fuels me. And I just love that he knew that he had the self-awareness to be able to recognize that and obviously work on that. I think another thing as well, AJ, it ties into someone's superpower, at least them being able to tap into it and then be able to then go for it, is someone's mindset. We were also talking about this kind of like before we hit record, was how a limiting mindset, what someone says to themselves and why they're not shooting big enough as well. Like, where do you find people having that limited mindset and how do you work them through that?
That is such a great question, because everything in life comes down to like self-belief, right? So it's, let's say if you're trying to persuade someone or sell them something that you have to offer, before you sell anyone, you must sell yourself first. So you must believe with the utmost confidence that what you have is going to transform someone's life. So, when it comes to like, let's say in the aspect of like a person's superpower and their own limiting belief, it's like really if you're crystal clear that you were born to do something, right? Like, so people that understand that they have a purpose in life, they were born to do this one thing, they have this utmost belief that only they can do that. And once they realize that, they want to become the best in the world at it. And they go into this level of like deep practice and focusing on their craft and just being in that place where they just get better and better and better. And they become so damn good that they can't be ignored. And it's like you have this feeling that like what I have is so powerful and you're just compelled to help people with it. Just like I was a fitness professional. Like I said, I lost the weight and I found that fitness gave me this power, this inspiration, this energy to help other people. And then I just had this belief that like, if I wasn't helping someone with my gift, I was doing them a disservice. I was doing myself a disservice. And I realized like, wow, if I just get better at this and I get better at inspiring people, I get better at understanding nutrition and exercise and all these things that are a part of my superpower, my craft, that I'm so good I can't be ignored. And it's kind of like, I think a lot of times lack of belief comes with lack of confidence, because deep down in your heart, when you don't feel you're good enough, we don't feel like you're the best in the world at what you do, you're not going to like go off into the rooftops and yell and say, come to me, I'm going to help you. So I guess to answer your question, I think that level of belief is like really understanding the innate power that you have, and the fact that if someone is not going to you, you're doing them a disservice.
That's fantastic. I also think that ties in really well to like, if you have a skill, if you're really knowledgeable on something and that's what you want to be doing, like it's your ethical responsibility to be able to go out and put that into the hands of people that need it. And I feel like, especially when we talk about fitness professionals wanting to grow an online business and all these kind of realm, it's like, if you're actually a really good trainer, if you're a really good coach, and this is what you want to be doing, you have to do everything in your power to be able to get the clients on board and to be able to give them what you have, which also obviously has you building and selling and doing all these things, which we'll jump into a second. But I think that's so important for people to be able to grasp. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back in a split with so much more for you. Now, I know you're listening and tuning in because you know how important your health is and how this can also catapult your business. This is why I'm very happy to say that this podcast is sponsored by My Body Blends and my favorite, the superfood elixir, the powerful greens drink. Now, this is designed specially to boost energy, aids detoxification, enhances the ability to burn fat, supports healthy carbohydrate metabolism, and best of all, is voted best tasting greens drink. Now, myself and the My Body Blends team are looking for ambassadors to join. So you and your clients get the health benefits plus adding in a strong income stream for you and your business. The ambassador program, which is by application only, means you get exclusive access to sell My Body Blends products like Superfood Elixir to your clients, plus giving you the special ambassador pricing and bonuses. So once you become an ambassador, you can join the other top health and fitness players that are adding thousands to their week's income. Now, there is only a limited number of ambassadors we are taking on board, as this is a tribe leading the way together. So to apply and to join, go to mybodyblends.com/ambassador or add the checkout code that is Turning Pro, all one word, when you're going to get your own superfood elixir to order. Plus, you're going to get free shipping and a bonus to save yourself over $250 instantly. So just use that coupon code Turning Pro in the checkout and you can save over $250 right now, all on mybodyblends.com.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant, because you bring about such a great point, Chris, because it is one way you could totally like create this inner dialogue, this belief system that you're the best in the world. But what that's going to do, yes, it's going to give you confidence and you're going to just work on your inner game. But if you're not really doing the work to improve your craft, you're going to be really good at attracting people because they're going to believe your confidence. They're going to be like, whoa, this guy has such belief that he's amazing. But then when they work with you and you can't perform, you're going to just ruin your reputation.
Yes.
Like I said, there's a lot of people in any industry where they kind of fake it till they make it, right? So they're just like, okay, well, if I pretend I'm really good at this, people are going to buy from me. But then when they become their customer and they can't perform, they can't get the result, then what they're doing is they're just attracting more people into the world to make them realize that they're a fraud.
Yes.
So
no, totally. And it's so true. It's like you can only sell shit once, because the thing is, once someone knows it's shit, they're not coming back for more. And I think especially in the world of social media right now, like you can't get away with that. Like if you're a fraud, like you're going to get found out. Like you either know your stuff and you can produce or you can't.
Absolutely. Because the example is, right, a person could be on social media and just put out these really compelling videos and post and say, whoever works with me, I'm going to change your life. I'm the best at what I do. I'm a body transformation expert, and this is amazing, and like a lot of people, they're drawn to the certainty, they're drawn to the confidence, right? Everyone wants to be led by someone who's a leader, who's in charge. But if you're not working on your craft every day, if you're, let's say, a fitness professional and you're not always staying up to date with nutrition concepts and exercise concepts and psychology to inspire your clients more and more each day, then you're not going to perform. And then soon your reputation is going to be a bullshit artist because you're going to be awesome at drawing people in, but you're not going to have any results to really, get referrals and really get your reputation to get to that higher level.
Totally. No, it's absolutely brilliant. Okay. Something that ties kind of like brings along the point of kind of like, right, we know what your superpower is. We know that you can kind of draw it out. Your mindsets, you've got the belief in yourself. Let's just say the caveat of this is you do get results with your clients. You do know what you're actually talking about as well. Then you obviously need to be able to separate yourself from the competition. You need to be able to attract the people in. And something that obviously is so important is to be able to become an expert, to become an authority in that area. How do you help people get there?
Well, it's really the old adage of you need to simplify to multiply. And one thing I've come to find is like people that are world class, right? Like the people that we spoke about, Arnold and Michael Jordan and Steve Jobs, like these icons that are in the top of their field, they live very, very simple lives, So like, when Michael Jordan's in his prime, all he does is practice and show up to the game, So like, for example, he's not doing all these extra activities where like he's not going to the court and cleaning the court. He's not taking out the garbages. He's not setting up the net, and a lot of times it's like you have entrepreneurs who have this very, very small, inner circle with their superpower. But the problem is, like, they spend maybe 20% of their day within that superpower, but then they spend 80% of their day doing very low leverage tasks.
Yes.
So I feel like the more you do that, the more you dilute yourself, because the people that become the best in the world, they spend, I would say, 90% of their time doing the 2 or 3 things that are their superpowers. But they have obviously people to either delegate, eliminate, or outsource the things that are not in that zone of genius.
No, that's so powerful. And especially when we were talking before at the very start about systems and being able to have that set up, like you should only be doing what you are good at. And so things like graphic design or doing your website, like all these other things, like that's what you get other people to do. So you can do only what you're really good at and what you should be getting paid for.
Exactly, Chris. So like, let's say if a person wants to be like the best online weight loss coach in the world, they should be focusing on 2 to 3 things that are going to just make them elite, make them world class, right? But if they're, literally answering emails 5-6 hours a day,
yes,
like if they're working on creating different parts of their website, if they're taking care of like customer service problems all day long, if they're literally taking out the trash in their office and cleaning up, doing these like low leverage tasks, they're taking time away from that zone of genius, and where, let's say, the person who has that leveraged lifestyle where they have a team or they have, people online, VAs, they have people that could do those low leverage tasks, they're spending more and more time in those 2 to 3 superpower areas, and they accelerate in their gifts, So let's say, for example, if a person's 3 superpower areas as an online coach, one is, let's say, to be charismatic on video, and they just work on, let's say, just creating videos all day long, they're going to get so good at that video, their presence, their communication, their persuasiveness, or if they're amazing at, let's say, writing blogs, so they're just spending all day long writing blogs. They're not doing customer service stuff. They're not doing email stuff. Or if they're awesome at program design, right? They're spending more and more time creating these badass programs to get results. I mean, they're going to outwork the person who's diluting themselves in all these different areas that are not making the big money.
No, okay, this is so important. Okay, I tell you what though, which probably might be ringing through the head of the listener right now, is what are the most important systems you're finding, AJ, that you've got to help people, especially when they're starting? What do you think is kind of like the small hinge that swings the big door? What's going to be the big bang for the buck to get started?
Awesome question, Chris. I think that if you look at any business, whether it's an online business or an offline business, there are just 3 main systems, and I like to call them attract, sell, and serve. So attract is essentially bringing in clients into your business. So you could call it lead generation, right? You want to be amazing because without leads coming into your business, prospective clients, I mean, that's like the oxygen of your business, the marketing aspect, right? And then there's selling. So there's multiple ways of selling your program. There's, selling on a webinar, selling on the phone, selling through email, selling on a page. So without sales, without conversions, you're not going to bring in cash flow into your business and you're not going to become profitable. The last part of the business is the service, right? So whether you're doing high-end coaching where you have, very high-end ticket programs and you're jumping on Skype calls or phone calls, or let's say you're creating membership sites or you're creating information products, right? You're having some level of fulfillment in your business. So when you're first starting out, I think you should really spend a lot of time in those three areas, making sure that you have daily habits to attract clients in. You're getting awesome at conversions. So if you're selling on the phone, you're spending, multiple times throughout the day on these sales conversations, working on that craft to convert people to buy your program, to invest in you. And let's say on the service, whatever type of deliverable you have, let's say if you're, a one-on-one coach, if you have a mastermind, if you are, just creating ebooks all day long, whatever you do, you need to spend time constantly refining your fulfillment. So your clients get better results, you get more referrals, you have better retention. So I would just say to focus on those three, and then over time, obviously you could scale up from there, but I would simplify in those three areas.
That's utter brilliance. I think I don't want people to skip over that, being able to go over the attract, sell, serve part. Like that is your business. If you boil it down to these three key areas, you have exactly what you need to look at. Like I don't want the listener right now, like write that down, like write what you need to do. And I think it's really important to look at, okay, like what are the things that we need to then look at? Like you said, the daily habits to be able to attract new clients, AJ. What are you finding are some daily habits can come on? Like what are some ideas for the listener to be able to take on board?
Absolutely. So let's say in the attract model, right? There's really only three ways to attract clients online. So you're going to have one that's like organic or free marketing. So that's on social media. That's on your email list, right? Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter. We don't have to spend a penny, free marketing. Then you have paid marketing, which is, using pay-per-click ads on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, right? Where you're paying for traffic and you're bringing it back into your business. And then the third is partnerships, where you're basically partnering up. Like, you and I, Chris, hey, let's work on a collaboration. I'm sure we will, especially after this interview, because we have so much in common. We're two awesome dudes. We have a lot of the same visions. We both have big followings. So let's do something for your following. You do something for mine.
Yeah.
And that's daily activity. If I'm just going around, like, you reached out to me, I'm reaching out to people as well. I'm like, hey, dude, let's jump on a podcast. Let's have a conversation and let's see how we can help each other. So basically, obviously, the really, really good marketers are focused on all three of those areas. They're doing something every single day for their free and organic marketing. They're just making sure their paid traffic is coming in consistently as an ROI, and they're reaching out to people every single day that are potential partners. So essentially, in the, obviously anything in life, you want to be successful, you create a daily habit out of it. So if you're doing those three things on a daily basis, you will never have a problem getting leads.
Okay, this is so good because I think that this is exactly what we're both teaching our clients, obviously in what we're doing ourselves. But like if we, what I try and help people do, especially, and this is just, you've nailed it, was how can you tick these boxes as the most important task of the day? Like, let's say if you woke up, even for trainers that say, let's have an example. Let's say we've got a trainer that's obviously still doing face-to-face personal training, but wants to build their online business. They're going to be saying, okay, I don't have a lot of time. Like, what do I need to be doing to build my online business? And the biggest things I want to come back with is like, okay, wake up earlier, get these major tasks done. And I kind of boil them down to like your three most important tasks. Right there, we can have your three most important tasks from what AJ just said. Your organic, what can you be doing for, say, or some organic? Do you jump on Snapchat? Are you doing Facebook live streams? Are you writing a blog post? You've got paid. Are you running Facebook ads? You've got JVs. Are you personally reaching out and trying to give value to someone else? Right there, you've got how to build your business in an hour. Done.
Yeah, no, exactly, Chris. And also to elaborate on that, because you just mentioned some really awesome organic strategies. One thing I realized is just focus on one. So let's say, for example, with content creation, it's either going to be audio, text, or video. So audio is like this podcast, right? You can record a podcast, you could record an audio file, put it on social media, right? Text, you could create this amazing blog post, put it on Facebook, put it on your blog, send it to your email list. Or video, pull out your phone, shoot a quick video, put it on Facebook, put it on YouTube, put it on Snapchat. So I found that everyone is going to be, decent in all three, but you're going to be awesome at one of them. For example, my favorite is video. It's my best, fastest, and most responsive content creation. Sure, I could write a blog, but I'm like a hunt and peck typer. It'll take me an hour to write a blog post. I'm super slow at that, right?
I'm the same.
I could talk all day long, as you can see, but with audio too, it requires more editing. I can't just pull out my phone. Let's say audio is a podcast. I got to, send it to my team. I got to wait for them to get back. But let's say I'm super prolific and I'm super productive on video. So I always say when it comes to content, you want to focus on being prolific and not being perfect, because prolific beats perfect all the time. So which one comes easy to you? I could literally bang out 10 videos in an hour on my phone, but it'll take me a week to do 10 blog posts. So I'm going to just, so find out which one you love doing, which one you're the best at, and just focus on mastering that. Like, I'm not going to be a prolific blogger. I'll never be that. And I'm not going to waste my time trying to work on my weakness, but I could be a badass guy on video, on live stream, and public speaking, because when it comes to me just being live and being in the moment, that's where I shine.
I 100% agree. I think this is absolutely brilliant, especially when it comes down to you really do have to master just one medium. And I think everyone's trying to do like a million things at once, especially like say in just the social media world. It's like, just choose one. Don't try and do Instagram and Snapchat and Facebook and Pinterest and God knows whatever else is about to come out in the next couple of months anyway. It's just if you just master one, then you can move on and leverage the other ones.
And actually, Chris, you give a good example earlier. You're talking about Gary Vaynerchuk, and he is a true example of just focusing on one medium. So as you know, Gary's prolific with videos. I don't know anyone else who does more videos than him. But he also publishes a book every year, and every single book he has a ghostwriter. What the ghostwriter does, they basically take all of his videos. His recent book was literally
I listened to it only like last week. It's like it's literally taking out his entire videos that he's just done.
So Gary probably does 20, 30 videos a week. So imagine if he's like, wait, I think the world wants me to start blogging, so I'm going to do videos and blogging. He's, like I said, he's stepping out of a superpower and working on something that he should not even work on, because obviously no blog post can capture his passion, his essence on video. So it's like, great example. Like, you don't have to write a book. Even myself, I'm a shitty typer. So I have this program, which is a transcribing service called Copy Talk. And I literally talked my book every day. I just talked for 10 minutes. That's 1,000 words. After 30 days, I took this big ass voice recording. I sent it to an editor, and she typed everything for me, so it's keeping it simple.
Totally. It's all about systems. Mate, we've absolutely nailed this. I cannot believe how quickly this time flew by. AJ, I'm going to beg and plead to get you back on there. But I tell you what, I know for sure the listener right now is going to be just frothing at the mouth to learn more about you, what you're doing, and how they can get in contact with you. Where do they go, AJ?
Yeah, super simple. I'm all about superpowers. So the name of my company is Online Super Coach. And I have this one main hub website called onlinesupercoach.com. And then as soon as you go on there, you could download a free book. And it's really the 5 systems that I recommend to grow your online coaching business. And a lot of it is what we spoke about, the attract, sell, and serve model. But it also goes deeper into really finding out your specific target market, how to scale once you get the basic fundamentals in. So you'll get a lot out of that book. And then on there, I have a lot of free trainings. I have a lot of case studies, and I've worked with hundreds of different coaches in different markets. So it's kind of seeing how they got their business up and running. So, you can see it's a very simple process. It's all about you tapping into that superpower and just setting up the right systems to enable you to stay in that zone of genius.
Brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to be putting in the links in the show notes to get straight over that. Also, AJ does run a phenomenal podcast that I did listen to, so please get into that as well. As obviously you're listening to us right now means you're a bit of a fan of the podcast, so jump on over for the online Super Coach podcast because I do recommend that one. AJ, mate, this has been phenomenal. Massive kudos, a massive thank you, and I'm really looking forward to chatting very soon and obviously getting you back on here as well.
Hey, likewise, Chris. I really love this. Like I said, this is true superpower. Like your superpower, my superpower is like Batman and Superman, just like combining forces, man. This was awesome.
I love it. This is going to be there's a lot coming right now. I'm pumped up and I'm looking forward to what we're going to be able to do.
Likewise, man.
So now it's time for you to click on over to chrisdufay.com. That's chrisdufey.com to get all the guides and show notes. And if you are wanting the workshops where I walk you through how to build your online business, click on over to chrisdufay.com/start here. This is where I can give you the exact training guides and the workshops for exactly where you're at and the answers that you need. Now, every Friday I'm coming back to you with a new episode, so be sure to subscribe. And if you haven't already, you're going to be getting the world's best insights, the advice, and the answers to give you the business, the money, the freedom, and the success and happiness that you want. And I want to give you a huge muchas gracias for being here with me. And as always, get in touch with me via the site or via social, as Ask the Pro is about me giving you the answers that you need. So ask away.